I'm Suzanne Lee. I'm a member of the board. And thank you so much for being here with us today as we talk about building a pipeline for women of color leadership in the state of Massachusetts. And I'm honored to be one of your MC for the last session of our conference today.
Hi, and I'm Cheryl Clyburn Crawford. I'm the co-executive director of Mass Vote and also a pipeline board member. And Suzanne and I are delighted to serve as your MCs this afternoon during our luncheon program. So, in the last 40 years, only around 100 women of color have run for office at any level across the Commonwealth. Close to 65 of them are elected, and many of them are here with us today. Imagine if we could break down the barriers and unlock the opportunities so more leaders like those 100 brave women and all of you had viable campaigns or potential appointments in cities and towns as well as statewide. How different would our public priorities be? At this time, I'd like to have Suzanne share her story.
Some of you might know, last fall, I ran for city council in the city of Boston. And that was after 35 years, almost 40 years of being a community activist and an educator, a successful principal in the Boston Public School. When I retired, it took many people to urge me and say, well, you have the energy and the passion. We need people like you to be in office, to make a difference for our community. We took many talking, and I said, all right, now that I've done 40 years of community organizing as the founder and longtime chair of the Chinese Progressive Association, that have over the last 10 years have increased voters' participation in our neighborhoods over 250%. And being a successful principal, I said, well, running for office, piece of cake, right? Never in my wildest imagination how steep the learning curve is. Even with my level of community organizing skills and running successful schools, I had to learn all over again what it means to run for office, how to raise money, who to rely on. And I said, who is going to be there for me? It's not something that I have entered before. So over the course of the year, I met some wonderful women and joint programs like Emerge and the Pipeline, and I met countless people in our community and in the city who really came out to support me. I said, well, maybe this is doable. So it gave me a lot of encouragement, a lot of energy to continue that campaign. It came within 97 votes of unseating an incumbent in South Boston. What I realized in that, doing that we need a lot of resources from our communities to help women like myself and young women starting out to get there. If we want them to be successful, we need to do our part to support them. You all heard about the research fellow project. That's only one piece of our work. We are unveiling today our pipeline, the leadership development pipeline for women of color. So if you see on the slide, on the screen, as well as in your program, right in the middle, you see this wonderful pipeline? This is a pipeline. Go from 1 to 8. So different stages engaging women to become leaders. So we need to start in our community and go through, so not everybody has to go through every single stage. So we started with the membership, all our membership organizations in the pipeline board and got all their information and laid it out who is doing what in our community. So you're going to find this on our website. And this is only the beginning. This is a work in progress. So we're going to continue to research and look for other organizations. So you guys need to let us know. Who do you know throughout Massachusetts is doing some of this work so that we can continue to plug it in from stage 1 to stage 8. That if we continue to build that the resources and the networking so that we can collectively help elect women in office. So this is only the beginning. Now Cheryl's going to take us through some of the action steps.
All of you to join us and to take action on 3 things. The first thing is identify the resources you bring to the leadership development pipeline for women of color. Whether your organization gets young women of color involved in community issues, or if you bring women of color from your community to meet their elected officials, we want to include you in the resource network to ensure we have a comprehensive view of the resources available statewide. We are available to meet you and determine how what you do corresponds to the different stages. Second thing we'd like for you to do is identify women of color leaders and encourage them to enter the public leadership pipeline. There are many amazing leaders, you already know them in your community, who could absolutely make extraordinary elected and appointed officials. Have you asked whether any of them ever thought about running for office? I'm sure the immediate reaction would be no. But it is up to us to show them that there are resources such as this one and the ones listed in the pipeline that can help you explore a career in public leadership. We will be delighted to know who those emerging leaders are. And the third thing we ask you to do is to finally join the pipeline in our continued conversation about the unique contributions women of color make to policy and budget decisions. We need to raise awareness about the dramatic underrepresentation of women of color in public leadership unless our democratic system of government is led by people who reflect the true diversity of our community. We won't have the type of policies and budget decisions that will benefit our families and communities. The pipeline is available also to go on the road and meet with you and other leaders about resources, strategies, and opportunities. Will you join us in our efforts to build a pipeline of women of color leadership across Massachusetts? Yes. All right. We are confident that with your support, we will create the supportive community for women of color leaders that will help more of us move up the pipeline of public leadership. We will be in touch with all of you after this conference to follow up on these 3 action items and ask for your recommendations. So I thank you.